South Korea is situated on the Korean Peninsula in East Asia. The peninsula borders China to the northwest and Russia to the northeast, with Japan situated to the southeast across the Korean Strait. In ancient Chinese texts, Korea is referred to as rivers and mountains embroidered on silk. During the 7th and 8th centuries, the Silk Road connected Korea to Arabia. In 845, an Arab trader wrote, "Beyond China is a land where gold abounds and which is named Syria." The Muslims who have gone there have been charmed by the country and tend to settle there and abandon all idea of living. Korea has a long and rich history, full of art, science, language arts, and industry. We have had our share of tragedies as well. In 1910, Korea was forcibly annexed by Japan and remained occupied until the end of World War II in August 1945. It was then split into two political entities, North and South Korea. The combined population of the Koreas is about 73 million, North Korea 23 million, and South Korea 50 million. Confucian tradition has dominated Korean thought, along with contributions by Buddhism, Taoism, and Korean shamanism. Since the middle of the 20th century, however, Christianity has competed with Buddhism in South Korea, while religious practice has been suppressed in North Korea. According to 2003 statistics compiled by the South Korean government, about 46% of citizens profess to follow no particular religion. Christians account for 27% of the population, and Buddhists account for 25%. One peculiarity of Korean culture is its age reckoning system. Individuals are regarded as 1 year old when they are born, and their age increments on New Year's Day rather than on the anniversary of their birthday. Thus, one born on December 31st would be aged 2 on the day after they were born. Accordingly, a Korean person's stated age will be 1 or 2 years more than their age expressed in the Western tradition. Brother Bernard was the pioneering missionary in Korea. I was appointed as an aimer in 1985, and then I received a full appointment. When I arrived, there was much opposition to this message from friends and family. At the first, my relatives were very hostile toward me since they were Buddhists. They commanded me to leave the country. Of course, I did not.
I'm Nate Turner, missionary to Estonia, but I grew up in South Korea and my folks were missionaries there for a number of years. We actually lived in Korea for 10 years. And Sister E.J. Kim came to Korea from the United States after she was won to the Lord in the Washington, D.C. area. And she was a dynamo. She came back and had a burden for her family that lived on a remote island off of South Korea. And so she went to go back to her family and tell them about the Lord. And her father met her at the door and basically told her, "We don't want you to be here, go home." And she was left on the doorstep with her luggage. But she overcame that initial rejection. Her grandmother, in a short time, committed suicide with poison. And the family found out, and she went in and prayed for her grandmother for several hours, and God raised her from the dead. And from that miracle, her family began to open up to the truth, open up to God, and the Lord filled them with the baptism of the Holy Spirit. They founded a church that's a beautiful place on that island, and God began to reach not just the family but the community. And Sister Kim went from that beginning of her missionary work in South Korea to becoming the director of the Bible College in the capital city of Seoul. She's a wonderful lady, and God has blessed her with a specific ministry for her people, and is blessing the work in a great way.
The Lord has done such a great work. I have started my first home missions church in Namhae.
Not because I've been so faithful, not because I've been so good. You've
The
always
second
been
home
there
mission
for
church
me
is in Changwon.
to supply my every need. You were there when I was lonely. You were there in all my pain, guiding my footsteps, shelter from the rain. It was you.
The third home mission church is at Okpo.
You made my life complete.
Now, I am working at our Bible school as the president and a teacher.
And that is why I sing.
The Korean people are passionate in their worship and prayer. Each morning, they meet at 5 for prayer. We have a dawn prayer meeting every morning, and people pray at this hour very diligently.
You weren't there.
The church in Korea is strong and growing, and the Bible school has now been in existence for over 30 years. We are also trying to reach neighboring countries like China. We have our UPCI Bible School in Simyong, China. I make trips to China regularly now.
Because you care.
More than anything, Korea is my burden. We have so many people that need to know the truth. Our nation has many Christians, yet they do not know the whole truth. These are good people. They are disciplined and moderate. They work hard. They are wonderful souls who desperately need to hear the gospel. With God's help, I want to work for at least 10 more years. I want to work while it is still day. Would you help me? Would you join me and reach the 77 million souls in my country? I love doing the work of the Lord. It is my privilege. I have a passion to go back to Korea and reach these precious people, my people, with the gospel of Jesus Christ.